Next up, we got Young Sunny V2, man. Hey, whatever happened to Prank Invasion? Now, if you don't know who Prank Invasion was, bro, this is back in the day, bro. I'm talking about Prank Invasion, bro. I'm talking about, boy, I was in like, what, 6th grade, 5th grade, bro, watching Prank Invasion. Basically, he was basically for my age group, 5th, 6th graders back then. You know what I mean? And he was just doing fake pranks, basically. I figured out they was doing fake pranks. He was just kissing girls and, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of like kissing and stuff like that. He just always like walk up to random people, get their number, and then start kissing them. It was all some horny shit, bro. Because you know when you're a little kid, bro, you're horny as fuck. So you see a motherfucker walking up to girls, and especially like good looking girls, kissing them and shit like that. You like, boy, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? This is the best shit in the world. So that's what he was doing back then. Definitely used to watch this shit a lot. You know what I'm saying? But hey, whatever happened to Prank Invasion now? I don't know what happened to him. As I got older, he just became irrelevant. So we about to see. Let's see what it is.
On the 5th of June 2019, the owner and operator of the infamous Prank Invasion channel, Chris Monroe, would post a tweet to his Twitter containing the following message. "Thank you for everything. It was a fun journey. One thing is for certain, whether you loved me or hated me, when you're 90 years old rocking in your old chair, you will still remember exactly who Prank Invasion was or who Chris is, whatever my name is." Now, unlike most YouTubers who state they're quitting only to return 1 month later, this wasn't the case for Prank Invasion because he hasn't been heard from on YouTube or Twitter since that day. That was over 20 months ago now. And it'd be a sin to let a notorious individual like Prank Invasion just disappear into the wind without closure. Plus, don't you think it'd be interesting to discover the eventual life result of someone who saw it appropriate to hook up with his own sister for views? So I did some research, and the stuff I found was a combination.
Wait, what the fuck you just say? Why he hook up with his own sister for views? What?
Of both interesting and bizarre.
What are you having in mind? Like, what are you planning? Yeah?
That's cool.
I mean,
Guess what did you expect for $5,000 cash?
I wanted to share that research with you. So this video will closely analyze the 6 months leading up to Chris's disappearance and come to a conclusion about what happened to Chris from Prank Invasion, why he quit, and where he went. This is the disappearance of Prank Invasion, aka Chris Monroe. Without completely retracing the steps of what was covered in the last video, I'll give you the most vital points of Prank Invasion's story up until the point of his disappearance. As mentioned in our last video, in approximately 2014, the ridiculousness of pranks began to escalate owing to many different pranksters competing for the pool of viewers on YouTube. This created what was explained to be a bubble of fake pranks, where things just kept getting crazier and crazier, approaching a point where things just couldn't get any further out of control. Some pranksters took their practices to the hood or the beaches of LA.
Today we're at Venice Beach in California.
But Chris from Prank Invasion took a slightly different route. He took his fake pranking practices to Craigslist, where he would recruit different girls to make out with them for content.
They said that they were looking for an actress or a model for a quick hijab kiss.
Chris began to gain his popularity during a time when the general YouTube viewer was naive enough to believe that it was truly possible to go and hook up with any girl on the street within 30 seconds if you simply had enough confidence.
I just thought you were gorgeous, so do you want to play a quick game for a quick kiss?
It was like a new genre of shock comedy, only there was no comedy and the shock was more accurately just disgust. However, it didn't take long before people over the age of 15 started to realize that going and hooking up with random girls on the street is borderline impossible anywhere outside of a red light district, which resulted in numerous Prank Invasion exposés.
Well, let's see what our boy Prank Invasion's up to. He took a bit of a hiatus after Mommy Makeout Day.
Despite his quote-unquote pranks being faker than Kim K, the reviews only increased his audience. Because you still had the naive kids watching thinking it was real, but now you had a second group of people watching purely for the cringe.
But none are more shameless or just downright batshit insane than Prank Invasion.
And Chris could see the trend just as well as anyone else could. He caught on to the fact that he could grow his audience through these negative reviews, so he began to create videos that facilitated more negative reviews.
And it's Mommy Makeout Day. I'm gonna find some moms and play a really quick game for a really quick kiss.
And while this grew his audience in the short term, it simultaneously diminished his integrity over the long term. With every negative review of his videos, more of these naive fans who assumed his videos were legit began to come to terms times with the fact that they were fake. Over time, this slowly eradicated all of the genuine fans and left only those who stuck around to clown on his content.
He's giving some really, really important, social commentary on these very delicate issues. I think you guys are going to find this to be very profound.
By around 2018, it seemed as though the majority of his viewers were just trolls who wanted to witness the cringe. Prank Invasion more than likely understood this on an unconscious level, and since there were basically no genuine viewers left anyway, he just ramped up the heat and doubled down on the insane and cringy videos by releasing classics such as the High School Edition, Daughter Edition, and even Girls in Front of Their Boyfriends Edition.
This is your girlfriend. Do you mind if I play a quick game with her for a kiss?
Yeah, she's cool with it.
She's cool with it? Okay.
Individuals like H3H3 reviewed the High School Edition but had become aware that the only reason that Prank Invasion was making these videos was to have H3 review them.
Waiting for H3 to reaction videos. Prank Invasion says, me too.
When the High School Edition barely got a reaction from H3, Prank Invasion likely realized that he had to increase the insanity of his channel to a point where he could regain the attention of the commentary community, which brings us to the 6 months prior to his disappearance, the time at which everything came crumbling down. On the 28th of December 2018, it became apparent that Chris from Prank Invasion was attempting to sell his channel for a price of $135,000 US. Now, while this spawned an array of timeless memes, the broader significance was huge. Chris was finished with YouTube. There couldn't have been a better smoking gun than his channel being online available for someone to buy. If we look at the date on which Prank Invasion listed the channel for sale, then compare that to his Twitter, he posted a tweet on the same day saying demonetization is an MF in somewhat of a defeated tone. I think it'd be almost certain to say that the first reason Chris quit YouTube and randomly disappeared was due to the monetization status of his channel. As mentioned in the previous video, YouTube's infamous 2016 adpocalypse hit every controversial creator pretty hard, and if anything, Chris probably would have been hit harder than almost any other prankster. To align this event with his motives, you don't pay to hire girls and repeatedly embarrass yourself online through cringy videos for the fun of it. The motivation is money. The only other method that Chris had to monetize his channel was his How to Kiss Any Girl Within 30 Seconds of Meeting course, which I'd assume wasn't exactly a hot seller considering everyone had realized that every girl that he did kiss within 30 seconds was a paid actor. Another wacky theory might have been that Chris knew a topic like him attempting to sell his channel would have garnered a lot of attention from the commentary community and therefore did it as a publicity stunt while actually never intending to sell the channel, which probably wasn't above Chris as he had done way worse things for publicity in the past. Regardless, I think it's safe to say that he barely would have been making a penny from his channel by late 2018, and his attempt to sell the channel was likely a genuine bid to get out of the mess that he had put himself into. Following this first tweet about demonetization, Chris posted a series of other tweets reminiscing on past relationships. 365 to 558. Only one person on earth knows what this means. If you see this, I love you and I wish we could do it over. I miss Nicole. Anybody remember her? Now, disclaimer, obviously I'm not an expert here, but this seems like pretty textbook depression or low self-worth talk if you ask me. Especially when you combine it with his other tweets bragging about his success, a pretty telltale sign of someone with a lack of confidence. I think it would have been even stranger if Chris wasn't depressed. He had a borderline dead YouTube channel that was bringing in no income, probably burned almost any opportunity of having a proper relationship given the nature of his channel, and zero remaining integrity given how fake the pranks were. It makes perfect sense to me that he'd be thinking back to the days of a more organized life. Now,
shit's so messed up, bro. I'm just sitting here like, I don't know what to say, because it's like, bro, like, I was sitting there watching it, though. I was crazy because I was sitting there watching. I was thinking like, dang, like this dude crazy. Like I remember, like half of them things I remember seeing it. Like the girl in the Target, bro. I remember seeing it. I'm like, bro, he walking up to girls in working and he's kissing them. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I want to do this. Like, it's just messed up. Like, now that I'm like actually like grown, and I can just see the picture, it's kind of just like way crazier. Like, I don't know how to explain it, bro.
These two events, the demonetization as well as the speculative depression, were almost certainly motivators for his disappearance. But his desire to return to relevancy and popularity would ultimately be a negative, as it was through this desire that he would find motive for his next crazy move, the infamous kissing my sister prank. 2 months before Prank Invasion would disappear off the internet, it seemed that he was getting more desperate for the attention of other YouTubers. However, tweets about beating Joey Salads in a street fight as well as calling himself a professional fighter in his bio just weren't interesting enough to be covered by other YouTubers like H3H3. Prank Invasion had likely reached the end of his tether and saw no other way of growing his channel besides, to quote The Godfather, giving the commentary channels an offer they couldn't refuse when he uploaded the Kissing My Actual Sister prank.
I'm gonna try to kiss my sister. So I'm gonna ask her if she wants to play a really quick game for a quick kiss.
This video obviously did exactly what was intended. Hundreds of responses from YouTubers and news outlets, as well as a general disbelief at the fact that a YouTuber would go there whether it was real or fake.
There's 0% chance that's his sister. Like, if you go back in time in all of their social medias, there's no mention even of any of them before, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's my sister and from out of town.
This gave Chris mass exposure in the short term, but just like all of his other videos, the publicity was extremely short-sighted. After only about 3 weeks, he had returned to having the same viewership as before the prank was uploaded, only now he also had a reputation of making out with his sister. This also likely revealed one key piece of information to Chris. If the insanity of this video didn't change his standing on YouTube, then it didn't matter how stupid his content was, he was never going to return to his former glory. And I'd say that Chris understood this better than anyone else, which is more than likely his motive for his next play, moving to Vegas on a whim approximately 3 weeks after the sister video. I'd say that this was Prank Invasion's official acceptance of defeat. He knew his YouTube was done by this point. I'd assume he went to Vegas as it kind of has that vibe where anything goes, possibly to find employment somewhere that wouldn't be concerned about his past escapades on the internet. Chris would then tweet, sometimes the best therapy is just a drive with some music, which to me seems like another nihilistic, hopeless tweet representing a lack of confidence in his future, which is maybe an over-the-top assumption, but it'd be in that kind of realm. Exactly 1 month later, Chris would announce that he was done with YouTube, and 3 months after that, the Prank Invasion channel was completely deleted. Now, there's one more thing I want to discuss before we answer the final question, and that's a video posted by Peyton Mitchie in June 2019, where it was revealed that Prank Invasion wasn't only hiring girls for a quick kiss, but also for other reasons.
I got hit up on Monday to do a video with Prank Invasion, and this is the vlog for that. I thought it was one thing, it was definitely another.
In this video, a phone call is played where Prank Invasion offers the YouTuber $5,000 cash for an amateur adult scene, which the YouTuber said was unexpected as she thought it would just be a kiss scene like in his other videos.
I really thought I was just gonna be kissing people.
You thought you were just kissing.
The most interesting part about this video is the dates. Chris announced that he was leaving YouTube on the 5th of June 2019, and the video was posted on the 9th of June 2019. Could Prank Invasion have seen this coming and decided to get out of Dodge in the hopes that it would discourage the YouTuber from posting the video in the first place? Well, this is a possibility, but honestly I'd say that it was just a coincidence. Prank Invasion's reputation was so bad by this point that there was no way he would have ever bailed out to avoid something like this. Possibly this whole scenario was set up to get Prank Invasion more exposure and both YouTubers were in on it, a total possibility by this point. Which brings us to the ultimate question we're trying to answer in this video. Why did Prank Invasion disappear off the internet and where did he go? Well, the reason behind Prank Invasion's disappearance seems to be somewhat of a conclusion of everything discussed. Prank Invasion's reputation was finished. He had no integrity left. There was no one on the internet who by 2019 was still naive enough to believe that what he did in his videos was real. Sadly, Chris's channel wasn't WWE and the fakeness didn't increase the audience, but rather reduced his genuine audience to 0. Without a genuine audience, it would have been difficult to sell his course and merch, leaving his only ad revenue as YouTube, which was also promptly taken away by the adpocalypse. With an awful reputation and no revenue, what incentive did Chris have to continue making content? None in my eyes, especially considering he had to pay models in every video, meaning that he would have actually been losing money rather than just not earning anything. Finally, you might say that Chris quickly left YouTube after he was exposed for trying to recruit girls for more than just a quick kiss. However, I'm not really sold on this considering that Prank Invasion clearly couldn't care less about his reputation by that point. But the better and more interesting question might be, where did he go? What was the eventual outcome of a man who thought that kissing his sister was appropriate? Well, I think the best hint as to where Chris went lies in his tweet stating that he was moving to Vegas on a whim. Now this is good because it establishes his location, and considering moving to Vegas isn't exactly a move that everyone makes, it gives us the possibility of inferring a motive. I decided to do some research on why people move to Vegas, and one sentence in an article stuck out to me like a sore thumb. Las Vegas is a moving community. It's It's transient. It allows for anonymity, and it's a place where people think they can start over fresh. Something tells me that Chris from Prank Invasion would have been somewhat desperate for a fresh start, especially if he was in the position of needing employment. Something tells me it'd be much easier to get a job in a bar in Las Vegas than in an office in LA. Especially considering when you Google the name Chris Monroe, you don't exactly get the most flattering search results. However, I also have somewhat of a theory that Chris Monroe isn't Prank Invasion's actual name. In his final tweet, he states, "You will still remember exactly who Prank Invasion was or who Chris is, whatever my name is." This might explain an old Twitter account with the name Andrew Manavi, as well as a Crunchbase profile with the name Christopher Manavi, which I'd say is most likely his actual name. Possibly after moving to Vegas, Chris applied for employment under his actual name, Chris Manavi, which upon being searched comes up with flattering results explaining that Chris sold a former company for a price of $20 million. But on the other hand, I can't exactly imagine Prank Invasion to be out there just working at a casino, especially if he really did sell his company for $20 million. Surely people would recognize him daily and upload photos both of and with him. I'd say it's more than likely he's living somewhat of a reclusive life, possibly running an anonymous business, or if he was smart, living off the cash flow from investing the money he made while he was at his peak, possibly with a girlfriend or partner, which would explain the random foot in a dog photo uploaded just before his disappearance. Wherever Prank Invasion is, whatever he's doing, his infamous legacy has certainly made somewhat of a dent in the history of YouTube culture.
Damn, bro, that shit.
Approximately
that shit,
3 months ago.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit just. It's like, bro. That's why I like this dude channel too, cause it's like you be so invested, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause you just thinking like how this dude went down, how he even got to this point, doing fake pranks. You know what I'm saying? This dude doing a great job of getting on information. It's just like everything is just everything. It's just like fuck. But hey, man, y'all like, comment, subscribe. Comment, share, and react to next, man. Follow me on Instagram, so I'm most active at. We on a grind at 10K.